Hello, I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein. It's time to herald the coming of the new year of 5785 on the Jewish calendar. I'll give you some recipes to help celebrate this two-day holiday, and they're all next here on SoFlo Taste. How fun is that? Welcome, Taste Buds. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein. Welcome to the Goya Kitchen in the Culinary Lab at Florida Education Institute in Coral Gables. It's almost time to turn over another year on the Jewish calendar, and we will be turning it to year 5785. So today I thought it would continue my tradition of giving you recipes for the celebration, so let's get cooking. Now remember, I know these are recipes for Rosh Hashanah, but they're good for all the time, right? Any time of year. All right, so I've got a whole beautiful snapper that has been gutted, cleaned beautifully, really nice and fresh, and you can tell by the eye because the eye is beautifully clear. And this snapper came from the good people at one of the 6 Milam's markets in SoFlo to serve you. Milam's Markets is a family-owned and operated full-service market. And when I say family, I mean it. There's a good chance that when you shop there, you'll be helped by a member of the Milam family. Visit any one of their 6 markets in Miami-Dade or visit it online at milamsmarkets.com. I mean, really, look at this beauty. Isn't it gorgeous? This is like perfect for a family of 4? 2. Let's just say 2. I would buy 2 of them. All right. So let me teach you really quickly what to do, because other than obviously the fact that it's scaled and really good and clean, I love to take some of the fins off, actually almost all of the fins off, and cut the tail a little bit. So I've already cut a little bit of them. Let's go ahead and cut the bottom. And are you asking me why I do this? Well, I do this, and why do I do this? I do this because I don't want anyone to get hurt, especially myself, because I am cooking this beauty and getting it filled with flavor, and once I bring it to the table and everyone starts to eat it, I don't want anyone to find a fin, right, when they eat this gorgeous fish. I'm even going to trim down the tail just a little bit. Any sharp edges, I am cutting. I think I got it all. Here, I got them. This fin on this side. All right, good to go. Next, I always score my fish a little bit when I'm roasting it, so let's just cut into it. So when you score, you're gonna go the other way now. What you get are little diamond shapes, and it's great because once it's roasted, you can actually pick it up by those little pieces with a spoon and just plop them on your plate. Let's do the other side. Just like so. Beauteous. Aside from making it easier for people to eat, you're also allowing now all of the seasoning, which is salt, pepper, and Aleppo, to really sink into the flesh. So Aleppo is kind of like chili flake, just much more fine and a little smokier. If you don't have any, you can use chili flake. If you'd like cayenne pepper even more, you can do that. But make sure you season this really well, because you can finish by seasoning it, but it'll never really get into the flesh the way it does like this. Okay, let's add a little more olive oil to it. And I'm going to use figs, but I'm going to use them twice. I'm going to make a little sauce for the fish, but I'm also going to roast the figs. So let's take a knife and cut the figs in half. If you can't find fresh figs, then don't worry about roasting the figs on the fish. I'll show you what we're going to make later with the sauce in just a minute. And you can use dried figs for the sauce, but don't roast the dried figs. That won't really do much for you. We're going into a nice hot oven. I would go with about 400 degrees to roast this fish. All right. Next, I'm going to teach you a sauce to go over the fish. We'll have it ready so that when the fish comes out, we're ready to go. So let's go ahead and heat the burner on about a medium-high heat. We're going to do a fig brown butter with a little bit of lemon. So let's go ahead and take some figs. So this is where you would use a dried fig if you can't find fresh. We are celebrating the new year, and with that we usually love to use nice sweet either fresh fruit or dried fruit. So I'm going to go ahead and slice it in slices instead of the halves like I did in the oven with the fish. Figs and lemon go beautifully, and the whole combination with the chilies and eventually fresh herbs is just so good for fresh fish. Let's go ahead and add a couple of tablespoons of butter to the saucepan. Start shaking it up. I'm going to add one more. Let it go for just a minute. I'm going to add a little bit more Aleppo. Definitely needs a nice amount of salt. And the herbs I'm going to use when the fish comes out of the oven are Italian parsley, fresh tarragon, and dill. Sometimes tarragon can be a little hard to find, so if you can't find it, don't worry about it. It's perfectly fine. Parsley and dill are enough. And what I love about adding the fresh herbs at the end, it just brings a beautiful bite of freshness into your palate. All right, so let's stand over the butter for a minute. We want to make sure we're shaking it constantly to get a beautiful brown butter color, which we have achieved. Once it's brown, go ahead and add in the figs, which turns it into a beautiful sauce. Shake that up. We'll add some, and be careful with this. Once you add any kind of water, moisture, liquid into hot pan with brown butter, it's going to want to splatter because it is obviously a fat. So just stand back when you do this part, or you can wait for it to cool down a little bit. It's up to you. Okay, about half a lemon will do it. A little salt, pinch of Aleppo. When we come back, we can take a look at that fish, and I can't wait to dig in to this beautiful side dish recipe that I'm going to show you. You're going to want to eat it with everything and anything and anytime. Come right back.
Come back to SoFlo Taste from the Goya Kitchen at the Culinary Lab at Florida Education Institute, here on Local 10. It's a Milam's Markets Minute. Here's Melinda Harper.
Lee, I am a meat lover, and this looks incredible.
We're at our service counter today. We have all sorts of meat variety and offerings throughout the store, but our service case is where it really is the best of the best. What we carry is certified Angus beef, branded beef. Certified Angus beef, it has 10 exacting specifications, and it results in the very highest quality. But certified Angus beef, only 3 in 10 cattle will qualify. Wow. So what you're looking at here is the very best. So we have USDA Choice certified Angus beef, and we have USDA Prime. Prime is absolutely out of this world, next level quality. And you can see it in the sizing and the marbling and the texture and the tenderness of the meat as well.
When I take this steak home with me, what can I expect?
Like everything we offer here, it's exceptional quality. And when you come to Milam's, it will always be the very best.
So if you're a meat lover like I am, you've got to come to Milam's Market.
This is the center of the plate. You have to trade up your experience there. Make sure you come pay us a visit to have the very best meat on your table, or shop online at milamsmarkets.com and we can deliver the best to you.
Or come to my house after I cook the steak.
Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein, and I've been waiting for you. My fish is ready. It's in the oven, and I'm pulling it out. It looks stunning. Oh, so happy. The figs are roasty. The fish is gorgeous. Take a look at that. It's just so yummy. All right, let's be really careful. You need a really big platter for this to begin with. And I think I need more than one spatula. Hold on. I think this will do me. Let's see. Grab the head, grab the body. Woohoo! All right. There we go. Make sure you get all these beautiful roast figs. So what I love is that we've cooked the figs in two different ways, and they have two different textures and probably flavors as well. All right, now let's top this with our beautiful fig brown butter. And like I said, if you can't find the fig, use whatever you like. Dried figs are around, dried apricots, whatever it is that you really love to eat. Spoon some brown butter on this beauty. A squeeze of lemon. A little bit of that dill and tarragon and parsley mixture. And there we have it. A beautiful, beautiful main course for pretty much any dinner, but in this case, Rosh Hashanah. All right, so let's talk about a side dish. I decided to make a sweet potato gratin, which you can also call a sweet potato kugel, because you know there's the potato kugel, not noodle kugel, this very savory potato kugel. And this is kind of, I guess you could say, an iteration of that. Anyway, so what we did was, we julienned some yellow onions and caramelized the heck out of them, adding just a little bit of butter and a little bit of sugar and salt and pepper, and just let them cook down until they very, very tender and very caramelized, as you can see. These are sweet potatoes sliced thin, but not like paper. Don't worry about it. It doesn't have to be perfect because sweet potatoes cook a lot faster than potatoes do. So what you do is you layer that with a layer of potato, salt and pepper, and these onions, and then we're eating fish, so you can eat according to Jewish law dairy, but if you're not that religious, you know, it's really up to you. But we are cooking fish today, so you can do as you wish. There's two ways of doing it. You can either add a little bit of dairy, or I should say heavy cream now, or you can wait till the end and layer it all up with a topper of cream. Then start again, taking the sweet potatoes and just lining them up to cover every little single piece, making sure the most important part of all this is really the seasoning. If you want to do a raw onion, you can, because they will cook. They won't caramelize, but they will cook in these layers without a problem, but they will not caramelize, which is perfectly fine. It's just one less step that you have to do. I just happen to love the sweetness with the sweetness. So the caramelized onion with the sweet potato is really delicious together, especially when you have something as savory as that beautiful roast fish over there. So this is what you do, and you do it till the absolute top. You press it down as much as you can, and then you place it covered in an oven until it's finished cooking completely, and then you uncover it and you let it get just a little toasty on the top, because it just becomes better as it caramelizes a little bit. And let me show you what that looks like. And there you have it. It caramelizes a lot on the pan itself, but it's just delicious. And then right on the top, we add a little bit of fresh thyme, and it just makes it even more perfect. Come right back. I have more Jewish recipes celebrating the new year here on SoFlo Taste. Stay tuned to SoFlo Taste. We'll be right back. Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. I'm here in the wonderful culinary lab at Florida Education Institute. FEI's Culinary Arts program offers students a unique education that touches the international culinary fundamentals. In months, students graduate from the FEI's Culinary Arts program and can begin their new career on the dynamic SoFlo culinary scene. For more information, visit fei.edu/culinary-arts. Now back to some more Rosh Hashanah recipes. This is a dessert recipe that I read about a few years ago, and I think it's turned into probably one of my absolute favorite desserts. My sister and I love to make this, whether it's Jewish holidays or just any time really of year. It's so delicious, and it's really not too hard. So if you've never made crispy phyllo, it's pretty simple. You basically take a sheet of phyllo, you have to defrost them obviously, and they're really dry to the hand, by the way. It actually almost makes me kind of crazy how dry they are on my fingertips. But anyway, you lay one down, you brush it with butter and sugar, you put another one down, which I've already started here. Take some melted butter with a pastry brush. Don't go too crazy, don't make it too buttery. You don't want it to turn out greasy. A little bit of sugar, and then another piece of phyllo. Now the phyllo breaks really easily, it's okay. Once you lay it down and it sits on that butter and comes together and gets sealed with the bottom piece, no one's gonna ever know. So we turn these into individual desserts, but you can make one larger dessert if you want to. You're just gonna top it with the last layer of the melted butter and then the sugar. Go ahead and bake that. Now to bake it, you're going to want it to stay really nice and flat. So you can put another little piece of parchment paper like I have here and another cookie sheet on top, and then bake it until it's nice and golden brown. You can cut it with a pizza cutter, with a scissor, or with a knife, and this is how we make them, the individual ones. This is really called a millefeuille, which is 1,000 layers, tahini whip, and halva. So let's jump into the tahini whip, and I'll explain what halva is in a minute. This is just partially whipped heavy cream. I'm gonna add some tahini. And a little powdered sugar. Not too much, you don't want it too sweet. And go ahead and whip that. So the tahini really helps the heavy cream come together really quickly. And this is what it looks like when that's done. Just like whipped cream, but it has a delicate, so good tahini flavor. Like makes me step back, it's so good. All right, so we've got that. Halva. I buy it, I don't make it, I'll be honest with you. And halva can come in a lot of different flavors. Halva is tahini mixed with a little bit of milk powder and powdered sugar and formed into almost like a dough. It is so good. So it has the tahini flavor. Now, you can find chocolate halva, pistachio halva, rose water halva. It's really whatever it is that you like. This is traditional halva, just made with tahini, so it has, again, the sesame flavor. Some other fun stuff to put in this. Pomegranates if you want to, raspberries if you want to, or whatever fruit you like. And this is pomegranate molasses. You don't have to add this part, but the recipe that inspired me so many years ago, I think they might have used pomegranate molasses, and it's just so yummy. So let's go ahead and put this all together. I would put just a little tiny bit of the whip down so that everything sticks to it. So here's the first crispy phyllo. Let's put some whipped cream on that. A couple of raspberries, a little bit of pomegranate, and then some halva. And let's do it again. Press down ever so gently. And then, don't worry, I'm not making 1,000 layers. I'm just making 3. Tahini whip, raspberries and pomegranates, halva, and one last piece, just like so. And let's go ahead and just do a little drizzle of palm molasses straight from the bottle. Not too bad, right? Woo! Come right back. SoFlo Taste here on Local 10. See you in a minute. SoFlo Taste will return right after this. Welcome back to SoFlo Taste, and this is all about food for Rosh Hashanah or food for really any time of year, no matter what you want to do. This is gorgeous. I'm so excited about this. This is our tahini millefeuille with halva and pomegranate molasses. In English, it's a layered up, crispy, delicious pastry with some creamy whipped cream with sesame flavor. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of SoFlo Taste as I cook for the Jewish New Year. These recipes are great for celebrating with family and friends. Next week, whether they're sour, sweet, hot, or mild, pickles are good things. Join me for the jarring story of pickles on the next SoFlo Taste. Now let's check in with our friend Hunter Franke, host of SoFlo Health. Okay, Hunter, what's happening tomorrow on SoFlo Health?
Hey there, Michelle. That is an Aston Martin. This is a Mercedes. That's a Maserati. And that's not what's special about the cars in this workshop. These are some of the rarest cars that you'll find of their kind. We're celebrating our 300th episode here at a special workshop in Daniel. Plus, we also meet back up with Team USA weightlifter Alejandro Medina so that I can learn how to weightlift. It's all tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. on the one and only Local 10 for SoFlo Health.
So, Taste Buds, have a great week. Goodbye. Mwah. Happy New Year and good taste. Shana Tova, Tikatevu.